when things don't go well in our lives, we tend to blame ourselves, right? Like self-blame is like the first reaction to things going wrong. Maybe I should have tried a little harder. Maybe I shouldn't have tried at all. Maybe I should have said something. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. How come did I not remember to do this? I should have remembered. We blame ourselves a lot as humans when things are not going well in our lives. And we find ourselves stressing a lot because of that. Because we feel like we are in control. I feel like you're in control, you know. Like, nah, things are bad in my life because I didn't work hard enough. But what if you did work hard enough and things still didn't work out? Yeah, I worked hard enough, but I was working on the wrong things. But how do you even know what to work on? How do you even know what to do? Life is this big puzzle that you are supposed to solve, and you don't really know what you're doing. You don't know how to solve the puzzle. No one taught you how to solve this puzzle. You don't. What's even crazier is that you don't even know if you should solve the puzzle, right? You know, because I'm saying life is this big puzzle that you're supposed to, like, you know, you don't even know if you're actually supposed to solve this puzzle. You're just here. What do you do? You know, like, think about it. Think about your life right now. What should you do? What do you think you should actually do right now? And some people can say, "Oh, pursue your dreams." But is that what you should be doing? Some people will say, "Focus on happiness," but it's like you don't know what you're actually supposed to be doing. You're just here. So how can you blame yourself for anything? You don't know what's gonna happen when you do something. You can do things the right way, right? And everyone will like start clapping hands for you, like, yo, you did things the right way, and things still don't work out. Or you end up in a really, really bad situation, even if you did things the right way. You can do things the wrong way and still get good results. You never know what you're supposed to be doing, man. Let's not forget the fact that we are victims of cause and effect. You could have this great idea today, and if you start working on that idea, maybe great things will happen in your life. But then something bad happens and you forget about that idea that you had, and you had to focus on, the bad thing that has happened. A lot of people who are privileged think that they're privileged because they're just good people, right? Like, hey, I'm just good. Like, when things are going well in your life, there's that feeling that maybe you're just doing something right. Right? Doesn't it feel that way? It's like, yeah, I'm doing something right. Like other people, if they worked hard like me, if they weren't lazy, they would be successful. Like, nah, man. It doesn't work that way in this world, There are people who make mistakes, but because, well, they don't even know what they need to be doing. That also does happen. You find that a person makes mistakes because they just don't know what they should be doing. Maybe you have the right ideas. That's why things are working out, but you didn't choose to have the right ideas. You just have the right ideas. People don't realize how privileged they are to even be enjoying that experience here. Life is hard, man, and you can't blame anyone for suffering. You can't blame anyone for failing. You can't really blame anyone for anything, really. Like, when you think about it, you can't really blame anyone for anything. You can't blame yourself, and you can't even blame anyone. What we can do is advise other people. Like, hey, man, look, I know you've been programmed to be this way and that way, but you must try to ask yourself the deepest questions about life so that you don't make mistakes. Right? So that you don't make mistakes. You can advise a person who doesn't know what they're doing with their lives, or who wants to have children. Be like, hey, man, look at where you're at in life. You don't even have a house. You don't even have a job. You have nothing. Nothing is really going for you. Why do you think you should be having kids? Like, let's have a real conversation here. Do you genuinely think that is a good idea? Yeah, Lil Wayne's mother had him when she was 15. She probably was no longer with his dad, and he became successful. So people will give you some dumb example. I remember this guy is a celebrity. His name is DJ Boo. He grew up in a township in South Africa. He suffered a lot growing up. He didn't have much, but he became successful. He became a radio DJ. Everyone loved him. He also became a musician. He became a businessman. Like, he's successful. I remember I saw a video of him saying, I hate it when young people are like, I'm not having children because I do not have money. Like, hey, children can be raised eating soft porridge. When are they gonna grow? I mean, look at me. Like, he doesn't realize how lucky he is. Like, dude, you're lucky. Not everyone is gonna be as lucky as you. Do you know how many people tried to be like you in this world? Who even worked harder than you did? Like, people don't realize how lucky they are, bruh. Like, there are people who've worked way harder than you, who have suffered more than you have suffered, and who are actually, better than you in so many ways. But they somehow did not succeed. Somehow the stars did not align for them, and they didn't succeed. But you're gonna be like, hey, you just work hard, like nah, man. Blind optimism is a problem. Like it needs to get to a point where you're just grateful, like when things are working out. Like I don't even want to take credit for anything. Like when things are working out in my life, I'm like, hey man, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I'm not sick right now. It's not like I made the best decisions in life. I drink. I'm grateful that I'm not in a hospital. It's not like I'm always protecting myself. I'm not always protecting myself. Sometimes I walk late at night. I can get stabbed. I can get jumped. These things do happen to people, and they do blame themselves. Like I shouldn't have went out. I shouldn't have went. Life is this puzzle that we don't even know if we should solve. I mean, you can decide to go out at night and something good happened because you decided to go out. You can decide to go out and something bad happened and you start blaming yourself. Like you never know. Like you never know what's gonna happen. That's the problem. That's why I don't want to burden anyone with this. I don't want to burden anyone with existence because I still don't understand it. I still don't have a clue what I'm supposed to be doing. So burdening someone else with existence doesn't seem like the right thing to do. Because obviously this life is not a blessing, because there's no guarantee that things are gonna go well for you and you're not really in control. So yeah, sometimes things do go well for you. It's like calling life a blessing is like considering like gambling a blessing. Because sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Like it depends on how you play. Yeah, some people are gonna win. There are people who don't even have jobs. All they do is gamble and they win. You don't know how they keep on winning. Maybe some people have luck. Who knows? And some people keep on losing. No matter how they try, they just keep on losing. Who knows? There are a lot of things that are going on in this world that we don't understand, Why does anything happen at all? I'm glad that I haven't burdened anyone with this, man. I'm glad that life didn't treat me in a way that would have made me feel like it was a great idea to burden someone else with existence. I am actually glad that it didn't treat me that way, because I genuinely think if a person is going to be truly honest with themselves, they won't really think it's the best idea to be having children. I'm not saying they wouldn't. Some people can still gamble, but they wouldn't be gambling because they think it's a great idea. They would just be like, I'm just gonna gamble, Some people will still gamble. But if a person thinks it's a great idea, that's what's scary. And we need to be honest about life, We need to be honest about life, man. Life is really difficult. Some people are in jail. I remember on the song that I made about antinatalism, I said, some people are in jail because they were abused as kids, and we all know that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Ain't no lie. envious, some people are full of hatred, they just act like they got your back like a wheelchair. But here's the thing, you can end up not knowing how how to do things right because you ain't raised right. End up making a mistake and end up in prison because of that mistake. Find that you're not. I mean, if you didn't make that mistake, you probably would not have ended up in prison, like ever in your life. Like you would have made the right decisions. So it's just a mistake. Someone might treat you bad, and you end up, and maybe like you change, right, because of how they've treated you. You change. You find that if they didn't treat you that way, you wouldn't have changed, and you would have been better than you are. You can't blame anyone for anything if you need to be truly honest. I know that it's normal to feel angry when people make mistakes, but there's no one to blame, bruh. My advice to people is to just not be burdening more people with existence, because the problem with humanity is that we're not conscious enough to understand that there is no free will in this game of life, that we are victims of causality. So we blame people for not understanding some things or for not behaving the way that you want them to behave, without realizing that they're behaving the way that they're behaving because they just like they couldn't behave differently. Like they couldn't have behaved differently in the state of mind that they were in the circumstances that they were in the situation that they was. Like they couldn't have made a different decision. Like if we restarted the universe, they would have ended up making that decision that they've made. That's what I'm saying. We're just not conscious, to blame people like, you're evil, you deserve to rot in jail, you deserve. I'm not saying we shouldn't lock people up. I'm saying it seems to me that the way that we feel about these people isn't how we should be feeling. Isn't how we'll be feeling if we really understood life, if we really understood where other people are coming from. You just like it if you are not in the worst situation that you could find yourself in. You just like it. We shouldn't blame anyone. We should try to understand life, and we should try to understand existence. We should understand that everyone is a victim of causality. Our parents ate the food that they ate and had us, raised us the way that they raised us. We dealt with things that we dealt with, and we ended up the way that we ended up. We can say some people are bad, but why are they bad? Like, what made them bad? Like, what? You know what I mean? Because I don't think people just choose like, okay, I want to be bad, like they have that like free will. And even if it seems that way, it's not really free will. It's cause and effect. Maybe something made them feel like they want to be bad. Something made them feel like they want to be good. Remember, I saw this post on Facebook from this other guy. He was like, what did he say? I think he said something like, due to some circumstances, I'm a bad person now. Something like that. Like something has changed him. Now he's a bad person. It's scary that the people who are having children are the ones who get super angry when some people do bad things without realizing that these people who have done bad things because they were born and they've experienced life the way that they've experienced it, and they ended up where they've ended up. It is cause and effect. They didn't even have free will. So when you have a child, you are actually putting them in a situation where things can go bad for them and the whole world is gonna hate them. Like, you need to be conscious enough to understand that we really don't have free will, bro. Like, we really do not have free will. Like, when you have a child, you are basically making someone experience something that they don't really have control over. Like, that's it. Like, you're giving someone an experience, basically. So if that experience is hellish, it's you who started it. You can blame them for not listening to you sometimes, but maybe they couldn't have listened to you. Maybe they couldn't. Do you understand that we do what we can do at a time? Like, it might seem like we have a choice, but like, you should have listened to me, but what if that person didn't have a choice? They couldn't have listened to you. Everything was telling them to not listen to you, so they didn't listen to you. You know, it had to do with how they were feeling, the kind of food that they ate, you know, what happened to them yesterday, the movie that they saw. Maybe they watched a video of Benedictine talking, and they felt like rebelling a little bit, you know. But they didn't have a choice. Like, they didn't have, like, you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice, man. Any choice you make is caused by something that has happened before. Like, the things that have happened before are what's determining the choices that you make. That's it. You know, you can't operate outside of how life has programmed you. Basically, like, you be what life wants you to be. Like, you really do not have free will. That's why I have compassion for people who are hated by the world because they've done something horrible. Like, could they have done things differently? Yes, maybe if things happen differently in their lives, maybe if that girl didn't reject them, maybe if that girl did reject them, that also counts. It's not like people do bad things because bad things have happened in the past. You can do bad things because good things have happened. Like, maybe if that girl he rejected them, they wouldn't have, you know, ended up in this situation. Because any decision that you make is literally caused by the things that have happened in the past. Everything that has happened in the past, these things are actually what's deciding what you're gonna do. It's not you. You are. Let me put it this way: you are your past experiences. You are everything that you know, everything that you have seen, every person that you have interacted with, you are all of that, because that's what determines your choices at the end of the day. You know, if you didn't click on this video, tomorrow your day will be a bit different, right? But now, because you've clicked on this video, things that wouldn't happen if you didn't click on this video will happen, and you will also make decisions that you wouldn't make if you didn't click on this video. Understand? You don't have free will. It's just causality. It's cause and effect, man. Maybe you didn't remember to do something because of the food that you ate. It's making your stomach like you have an upset stomach because of the food that you ate, so you don't remember doing something. Cause and effect. Or the food that you ate make you feel good. Cause and effect. You do something good because you feel good. The food that you ate makes you horny. Call someone. Cause and effect. So you can't blame yourself for anything. If things are not working out in your life, you can't blame yourself. No one really knows what they're doing. They're just those who are, like it enough. Life played out in a way that puts them in a good situation, and they lie to themselves a lot. They lie to themselves a lot until things change, because sometimes things do change. I do genuinely believe that if I became successful before the age of 25, I would be cocky as fuck. Hey, you just gotta work hard. Me, I used to do this, I used to do that, I used to do this, I used to do that. That's why I'm where I'm at. You can do this, you can do that, and still not succeed. And you might not do this, you might not do that, and still succeed. You never know what's gonna happen. If you're in a relationship, the person that you're in a relationship with might break your heart today, and you decide to win a lottery. You're like, I'm gonna try to win the lottery, and then you actually win because they broke your heart. I find it funny that when someone breaks your heart, there's that feeling of wanting to become a millionaire within like a week. I'll show them. So funny, so that they will regret. You want them to regret breaking up with you. So you're like, yeah, if I became a millionaire, yeah, they would definitely regret breaking up with me. We are in a strange world, guys. We must try to have a little compassion, really, for every sentient being, and have compassion for ourselves also. You can't blame yourself. I'm telling you, you can't blame yourself for anything. I don't care what you've done. You can't blame yourself. Life just happened the way that it happened. You didn't cause your existence in this realm. I'm speaking like a human today, right? Speaking heart to heart. We're not talking about metaphysics, we're not talking about consciousness, we're not talking about God, AI, whatever. I'm just speaking to you human to human. So yeah, you didn't cause your existence. Someone caused your existence, and you're existing. And you started to feel the way that you feel. Because you have the brain that you have the desires that you have, You think the thoughts that you think. You're operating at the level of consciousness that you're operating on. You didn't choose that. When I was a kid, I was mean, bro. I was mean as fuck. I was actually mean when I was like I had a lot of compassion, but I was mean sometimes. Like I would be mean sometimes. But I see why I became conscious. I see that was still there. Like I was able to understand things that even my parents didn't understand, my teachers didn't understand. But I was mean. Sometimes I'll be mean, you know. And I look at some of the things that I did and be like, damn, I can't believe I did that. But did I really have a choice? Life just programmed me the way that it programmed me in the forms of doing those things that I did. But as I became more conscious, I realized that, okay, the things that I did were not good. And because now I realized that I will not do these things because I'm more conscious now. But I didn't cause myself to become conscious. There was no free will. I just happened to be conscious. I just had experiences that made me conscious, and I was actually capable of becoming conscious. So that's like, there isn't a person who's actually better than you, who's better than anyone really. Just because, hey, things are going well for them. That's why I keep on telling you that a judge is not better than a criminal. Sometimes when I'm watching like Judge Judy, and she's judging people, but yeah, I just I'm like, we're playing this game as humans. Like we don't know that we could have been anyone. Like you could have been anyone. You could have been that person that you're judging. You understand that? You could have been that person that you're judging. You could have been that person that you're laughing at. You could have been that person that you hate. You could have been that person that you don't understand. You could have been that person that you look down on. You know, if you're a girl, you could have been that guy that you rejected because he doesn't have this, he doesn't have that. If you're a guy, you could have been that girl that you played, that you lied to, told her that you love her, and she fell for you, and you fucked her and left and never called her again. Or even like there's this friend of mine, I mean, this is my day one really. Like I think those are the only friends. Like it's just the people that I grew up with. Those are the people that I like really call my friends. Really, we don't see each other, but we do talk sometimes. Like I know when I need them that they know that when they need me. But yeah, he was telling me about this other girl that he fucked, right? Like this nigga, he got game and he's like girls like him. So he's like, yo man, after I fucked her, I told her, like she started texting me and I started like telling her that her pussy wasn't good and all that shit, and you know, I was like, my nigga, don't do that. I mean, you are being a bad person, you know. Like try to put yourself, you know, in her shoes. You know what I mean? Like she trusted you. She felt like you love her. Maybe you don't know how her path was. You know, you don't know what she went through in her own life. You know, try to make people feel good. Because like, even though that's true, you don't have to say it. If you know, like, let's try to have integrity as people. And even if we want to say it, maybe say it in a way that's not going to make that person feel bad, like super bad, because you never know what, like, you might actually make someone like become horrible because of how you treated them. Like they might become cynical. They're like, okay, well, people just suck, so they just hate everyone because of how you have treated them. I know a girl that doesn't want to date anyone because she had an experience like that with a guy, and she just hate all guys. Like all guys are the same. And some guys are like that, like the black pill guys, you know. like they've been mistreated by some women, and they're like, we're done. Like, we fucking done. Like, all women are like, this is really a messed up existence, man. It will actually be dope if people consented to this. Like, it will actually be dope, I'm telling you. But the fact that people didn't consent to this and they just find themselves having this experience and it's not making sense, they don't know what they're supposed to be doing, and we're mean to one another as people who don't understand one another as people. Yeah, that really makes it a fucked up existence. Like, we don't understand enough to even have an opinion. Like, like, we don't understand shit. Like, humans don't understand shit, man. I've listened to a lot of humans talk about things, and I'll be like, damn, you're like a child. Like, you don't understand. Like, we need enlightenment. We need understanding, you know. Before we even think about punishment, before we even think about judgment, we need enlightenment. We need to understand. We need to get it. Because one of the biggest problems is that we just don't get it. And we think we do, you see? So the problem isn't that we get it. The problem isn't that we don't get it. And we think that we get it. Yeah. So we judge because we get it. Like, yeah, you're bad. What you did was so horrible. You're bad. You should rot in hell. Yeah, we get it. That's what we think. But you could have been the person that you're judging. If you have experienced life the way that they've experienced life, if you had their brain, if you had their brain cells, if you had their blood type, if you ate the food that they ate, and like, you could have been that. So who do you really hate? Do you hate? Because if you're gonna hate that person, it means that you hate life. And I would understand if you're an internationalist or like a super conscious, a gnostic super conscious person, and you're like, I hate this. I would understand. But some people are like, they're like, I love this, but then I just hate some people. I just hate some people who do this and that. But they're part of life, and you could have been them. It's not like these people were created by something outside of life that wasn't supposed to create them. It's not like that person is like a virus. Like, no, they're part of this. You understand? So when you're creating a new human, you are also acknowledging that that human might be, you know, in a way that you do not like. And that wouldn't have happened because of a mistake. You knew what you were doing. You knew what was possible. It's like these people who gamble and end up stripping naked and wanting to unalive themselves because they're lost. You're like, yeah, you knew what you were doing. You can't be mad. You knew. Like, if you're gonna gamble because you know you can handle losing. Right? Gamble because you know you can handle losing. So really, when things are not making sense in the world and we believe that this is a positive experience, then we must try to understand these things than to judge, because that shows lack of awareness. That's a contradiction, right? Because we know, like, when you have children and you say this is a positive experience, you know what's possible. You know the things that happen. You know that there's gonna be wars. We've never been able to get rid of wars. You know, there's gonna be inequality. There's gonna be poverty. You know, people are gonna get sick. You know that these things are part of life. You shouldn't even be shocked when these things happen. You're like, well, it's part of life. It's part of this. You know, and I love it because I said that I love life. So I mustn't now be biased. But yeah, if you hate this room, and if you like, hey, this room doesn't make sense, I don't believe in this room, I'm not even gonna have children, I'm going to try to, you know, become as conscious as possible, learn as much as possible, so that I don't end up back here again, because, well, I'm here now. That means that it's possible to end up here again. So yeah, I would understand if you just hate everything. I would understand, because, well, you've already admitted to yourself that you just hate this realm. But if you told yourself that this realm is good, then you must love everything about it, because everything is part of, it's part of everything that you'll see, everything that you'll experience is part of it. There must be intellectual honesty. Otherwise, we're just being hypocrites. And it sucks because most humans are hypocrites, bro. Like, I don't know many humans who are not hypocrites. Most humans are hypocrites, man. Most humans are hypocrites. No one is better than you, and you're not better than anyone, because you could have been anyone. If this was gonna make sense, we would have needed to work with one another as humans. Like, if we understood what I'm saying, we would have, decided to work with one another as humans than to compete. Like, we've really created hell, bro. We have really created a hell. Competition. I'm better. And this and that. People are selfish as fuck. Like, no one is willing to just be kind. Like, there's always something to gain. Huh? Like, we really have created a hell, I'm telling you. That's why I keep on telling you that I'm so happy that I didn't burden someone with this experience. Because it's not like they can just pose the experience and be like if you're watching a bad movie and you just pose it, you're like, hey, let me do something else. Or you just be like, I'm not gonna watch this movie. Like, you don't know what to do, because like, if you're watching a movie, you know that if you close your laptop, you know exactly what's gonna happen after you close your laptop. But in this world, you don't know what's gonna happen if you, like, you know what I mean? Like, if this all ends, you don't even know what's gonna happen. You don't even know what you're gonna experience next. Do you understand how crazy it is that this is past? Like, this is what's happening right now. This is life. And people are like, it's a good idea to just be having, like, bro, like, what I'm saying is, let's think, like, let's see things as they really are, you know? Like, I'm not the type of, like, even though I believe that this is a hell realm, but I'm not the type of person who will go to people and be like, yeah, you shouldn't have had children because of this. Like, no. I would have a conversation with you even, like, before you have children. But let's be honest. You cannot say, having children is a blessing, or God said we must multiply and this and, like, that's not honesty. Let's be honest. Say something like, life is hard. I know that. Life is really, really hard. Things can go wrong. And I'm bringing this innocent thing into this existence. I don't know what it's gonna deal with. But somehow I just have this desire to do that. I just have this desire to, like, raise something that I would have brought into the, like, that's honesty. But some people be like, God told me to. Like, God didn't tell you anything. God didn't say be fruitful or multiply. It's just written in the Bible by people who say that God said that. But you don't know if he said it. But even if he did, you don't even know if it was the real God. Like, you don't know anything. Like, we need to be honest. I keep on telling y'all that I don't have a negative mindset at all. I'm just honest. I'm honest about everything. Because that's what I think is going to liberate us. It's honesty, it's truth, it's authenticity. It's me understanding myself. It's me understanding you. See? It's not just about understanding myself, but it's also about understanding you. Where are you coming from? Why do you feel the way that you feel? What have you experienced in life? What's your story? My favorite quote from the TV series The Changeling. This lady said, tell me what you've been through and I'll tell you who you are. that's understanding, right? That's understanding. That's understanding that the things that we go through really do make us the people that we are. The things that we go through do shape us, whether we like it or not. It's how the experience is, you know, it's how life is. So there needs to be honesty. People are mean and they don't understand, and they cause suffering without even realizing they're causing suffering. That's why it's hard for people to like really make things better in this world, because they don't understand shit. They don't understand themselves, they don't understand other people, they don't understand life, they don't ask themselves the deepest questions about life. Just pretend as if they understand. Life is this puzzle that we don't know if we should solve or not. So we should be trying to understand it. It's not just about doing what works, but it's also about understanding. Should we do anything at all? Or should we step outside the box and think? Human beings have been shying away from the truth. Like forever, man. They've been shying away from the truth, and you're never like really able to solve any problem if you shy away from the truth. Like that's the thing. Like you're never solving any problem if you shy away from the truth. You're never going to be fair if you shy away from the truth. You're never going to be a good person if there's such thing, if you shy away from the truth. I think the only people that can be good if there's such thing as a good person is the people who understand. Like you can never be a good person if you don't understand shit. I know people who think they're good people because they're following rules, but they don't understand anything. Like they're mean in some ways. Like they don't even understand that how they're being mean. Like I know people. Like one of the reasons why I had to leave Christianity early was like, okay, no, I know it's not based on truth. Fine, I'm still gonna go to church. This how I used to think. But what made me leave Christianity early was the fact that Christians are mean. Like they just do what the Bible says, but they have no way of like figuring out what's the right thing to do is in a situation. Like if they're dealing with a new situation and they can't read the Bible at a time, like they don't know what to do. Like they don't know what to do, so they'll just be mean, and you're like, damn. So they rely on the Bible all the time. Like they can't like really think for themselves. They can't really step outside the box and think and decide what makes the most sense. Yeah, don't blame yourself, man. Don't blame yourself if things are not working out in your life. If life is hard for you, if you are in a bad situation, even if it's because of the decisions that you've made, you still shouldn't blame yourself. You You couldn't have known what's gonna happen in the future, and also you didn't make yourself feel the way that you were feeling to even make this, to be making these kind of decisions that you have made that have led to failure in your life. So be as honest as possible with yourself. You'd realize that you shouldn't be blaming yourself at all. Thank you, guys.